Hi, we're back to Tales from the Road with Dr. Jill Windy. I'm Dave Dufour, and this is Gunner the Wonder Dog, and he's going to show us a few fashion statements for the wintertime to help us keep our furry four-legged friends warm and snug. You know, whether you're doing cold weather camping or just staying at home, the cold weather does affect our pets, right?
That is correct. That is correct. So first of all, whenever you are getting ready to put on your cold weather gear, you need to think about your pet's cold weather gear too. So for you snow dogs out there that dream of this time of year, it's going to be fantastic. But for the rest of the short-coated and mostly indoor guys, we have to take care of, especially on extended trips outside when it's very cold. So a nice warm coat. You see Gunner's showing off his new fall fashions.
There we go.
There they are. Look at that.
Ooh,
fantastic.
Look at that.
Yeah, right now he's just
he's
showing off.
He's also more interested in the treats.
Yeah, that he likes my treats. Yeah. But you'll want to go ahead and make sure that you've got a nice snug coat fitting for your pet if they're going to be outside for more than a few minutes. Now, the other thing we have to remember is that the super tiny guys, our new puppies and the little tiny toy breeds, when you're getting a new puppy around the fall and winter times, still potty train them outside. They can be out long enough to go potty and learn how to do that, but you do not want to train them to something indoors and then expect them to magically know they need to go potty outside for the springtime. So get them outside right away. Okay, the other thing we have to remember besides our coats, Mom always told us to put on our galoshes too. So we have to remember that while dog and cat feet are really built to withstand a lot, we have to be careful when it's super cold or if they're going to be out in the snow and ice for a long time. So you can use a pair of dog boots to help protect their feet. If they're going barefoot and you're out in the snow and ice a lot, you'll want to go ahead and make sure to remember that they can get that snow and ice up in between their toes, especially if you've got those real fuzzy Grinch feet. So make sure that you're digging that stuff out of their toes so it doesn't get irritated. We can even have frostbite happen in some severe cases. Now, the last thing at the end of a fun day outside, you want a warm, snuggly den to get home to. So especially for our full-time outdoor pets, you want to make sure that they have a nice small den so that way they are protected from the elements. Now, you can use something as simple as a foam cooler with a hole cut out in the side. You can also get a full assortment of any kind and style and price range of dog house or pet house. Just make sure and keep it small because basically, unless you're going to be heating this thing, it's actually heated by their own body heat. And so it needs to be fairly small and snug up in there. The last thing we have to remember, keep that water fresh and also keep it from icing over. So we do have some electrical, some heating bowls and that type of thing that you can use. But make sure that it doesn't get iced over, again, especially for those full-time outside pets. Food is a little trickier. If you've got a full-time outside little friend, then you are going to want to make sure that they have a little extra food while they're in the winter months because they need more energy to try to stay warm. If you're like most pet households, though, and you basically all go into semi-hibernation when you're in the wintertime, they need less food. Packing on that winter weight is really not a good idea, not a good health standpoint. We can have a lot of really bad health effects come from being overweight. So those would be the big things. The last thing we might want to be thinking about is when the bones are creaking. So everybody knows when it's getting cold and the seasons are changing because the bones and joints start creaking. And don't forget that they do that in your older pets as well. So if you've got a senior pet, make sure and talk to your veterinarian to make sure that all the bases are covered from a joint comfort and pain control standpoint.
You know, this guy he's such a great little guy. I think that I would absolutely love being on the road with this little guy all the time because he's such a friendly little fella. Gunner would definitely like you to to become part of the show and send questions to Dr. Jill and comments and feedback. And you can do that by looking us up on Facebook, Twitter, and also we'll have pictures up on Flickr as well. You can also leave a voicemail message for Dr. Wendy at 877-578-7866, extension 705. That'll put you right into Dr. Wendy's voicemail, where you can leave feedback, ask a question, and maybe we'll use it on an upcoming episode of Tales from the Road. We'll be right back.